Welcome to the Great Labor Rebalance, a deep dive into one of the most profound shifts in modern economic history. For decades, the global narrative has largely centered on capital's ascendancy, often at labor's expense. But a seismic reset is underway, challenging long-held assumptions about employment, value, and corporate responsibility. We are witnessing a recalibration, a negotiation between workers, businesses, and governments that will define the next generation of global prosperity.
The data points to a dramatic inflection. Post-pandemic, quit rates soared across developed economies, peaking at 4.5 million in the U.S. in November 2021, a stark departure from historical averages. This Great Resignation was not merely a blip, it signaled a fundamental reassessment of work-life priorities. We saw unemployment rates plummet to multi-decade lows in many regions, creating exceptionally tight labor markets that empowered workers like never before. Average hourly earnings, while still battling inflation, showed robust growth in sectors like leisure and hospitality, indicating significant bargaining power shifts. This phenomenon underscores a sustained worker preference for flexibility, better compensation, and more meaningful roles.
For millions of everyday people, the pandemic was an awakening. Suddenly, the idea of sacrificing everything for a job, commuting hours for minimal pay, just didn't make sense anymore. My neighbor, a seasoned nurse, left her hospital job for a remote telehealth position, citing burnout and a desire to spend more time with her children. We saw entire families struggling with childcare costs and the mental load of traditional work structures, prompting many to reevaluate their professional paths. This led to a scramble for employers to offer more competitive benefits, from flexible hours to tuition reimbursement, just to retain their staff. People were voting with their feet, demanding a better deal for their time and effort.
From the executive suites, this rapid shift presented a formidable challenge to established HR and operational strategies. Companies like Starbucks and Amazon, long accustomed to predictable labor supply, suddenly faced unprecedented unionization drives and recruitment difficulties. The imperative shifted from optimizing for cost efficiency to prioritizing retention and attracting talent in fiercely competitive markets. Many firms reacted by investing heavily in enhanced employee benefits packages, ranging from expanded parental leave to mental health support programs. For example, Walmart increased its average hourly wage for U.S. associates to over $17.50, a significant jump designed to stem attrition. This new reality compelled boards to view human capital not merely as an expense, but as a critical asset requiring strategic investment for long-term growth.
The immediate post-pandemic shock began to reveal deeper structural currents at play. The catalysts were clear, but the underlying forces driving this rebalance are multifaceted and systemic. We must look beyond the immediate effects to understand the tectonic plates shifting beneath the global economy.
One primary driver is the accelerating pace of automation and artificial intelligence, which simultaneously displaces and augments human labor. While fear of job losses dominates headlines, the reality is more nuanced, creating new categories of work while rendering others obsolete. For instance, while robotic process automation streamlines administrative tasks, the demand for AI trainers and data scientists has exploded. The World Economic Forum estimates that automation could displace 85 million jobs by 2025, but also create 97 million new ones, necessitating a massive retraining effort. This dual impact fundamentally reshapes the skills gap, favoring critical thinking, creativity, and digital literacy over rote tasks. Furthermore, it fuels a productivity paradox, where technological advancements don't always translate into widespread wage gains for the broader workforce.
Demographics are also playing a crucial, often overlooked role in this labor rebalance. In many developed nations, aging populations and declining birth rates mean fewer young workers entering the workforce to replace retirees. Countries like Japan and Germany have long grappled with this, but the trend is now accelerating globally, including in the US and even parts of China. This creates a structural scarcity of labor in key sectors, from healthcare to manufacturing, increasing the leverage of remaining workers. For example, the dwindling number of truck drivers in the US and Europe has driven up wages and signing bonuses as companies compete for a shrinking pool of talent. This demographic crunch means that every worker's contribution becomes incrementally more valuable, strengthening their hand in wage negotiations.
Geopolitical fragmentation and supply chain recalibrations are also reshaping labor demand globally. The drive towards reshoring or friendshoring manufacturing capacity aims to reduce reliance on distant supply chains, often bringing jobs back to higher wage economies. This move, while strategically sound, requires a significant investment in domestic labor and infrastructure, often for jobs that demand specialized skills. Consider the semiconductor industry, where new fabs being built in Arizona or Germany require thousands of highly skilled engineers and technicians. Companies are therefore facing increased pressure to invest in domestic training programs and offer competitive packages to attract this specialized workforce. This shift challenges the long-standing model of simply outsourcing labor to the lowest-cost producer, placing a premium on human capital closer to home.
As these structural forces converge, a distinct divergence emerges between institutional strategies and consumer realities. While corporations grapple with talent acquisition, households navigate the complexities of inflation, stagnant real wages, and evolving career pathways. Understanding this gap is crucial to comprehending the economic and social implications of the Great Labor Rebalance.
Central banks, in particular, are caught in a difficult position, wary of a potential wage price spiral. Their primary mandate is price stability and strong wage growth, while beneficial for workers can be interpreted as an inflationary pressure. The Federal Reserve, for instance, closely monitors the employment cost index, which showed a 1.2% increase in Q1 2024, signaling persistent labor market tightness. However, real wage growth, adjusted for inflation, remains sluggish in many sectors, meaning workers' purchasing power isn't always improving despite nominal gains. This creates a delicate balancing act for policymakers, who must weigh the risk of persistent inflation against the need for genuine improvements in living standards. The resulting monetary policy decisions profoundly influence investment in automation versus human capital, impacting long-term productivity trajectories.
For the average consumer, this dynamic translates into a constant struggle to make ends meet, despite a seemingly strong job market. While my cousin might have secured a higher-paying job, the cost of groceries, housing, and childcare continues to outpace that wage increase. Many families are increasingly reliant on credit cards to cover daily expenses, eroding any financial gains from higher wages. The Great Reshuffle often means taking on a new role that requires more upskilling or accepting fewer benefits, even for a higher base salary. We're seeing a shift in consumer spending habits, with a pronounced move towards value brands and essential purchases, reflecting ongoing financial strain. This widespread concern about living standards underscores the fact that nominal wage growth alone is insufficient to address the deep-seated challenges faced by households.
Corporate boards are grappling with how to strategically allocate capital in this evolving environment. Investing in automation and AI technologies becomes a compelling option to mitigate rising labor costs and reduce dependency on volatile labor markets. For example, many fast food chains are piloting automated fryers and order kiosks to address staffing shortages and increase operational efficiency. Simultaneously, the emphasis on ESG mandates, particularly the S for social factors, is pushing companies to reevaluate their human capital management. Institutional investors are increasingly scrutinizing metrics like employee turnover, diversity, and wage equity as indicators of long-term sustainability and risk. This dual pressure forces companies to balance cost-cutting through technology with the need to cultivate a motivated, well-compensated workforce to attract crucial talent.
Looking ahead, the Great Labor Rebalance isn't just a cyclical shift. It represents a fundamental rethinking of work's role in society. The macro projections indicate a future where the interplay of technology, demographics, and worker expectations will continue to redefine economic structures. This isn't merely about jobs, it's about a new social contract around labor and capital.
Long-term productivity growth will be a critical determinant of how this rebalance ultimately impacts economic prosperity. If automation can truly augment human capabilities and foster innovation, we might see a resurgence in productivity that offsets labor cost pressures. However, If automation primarily displaces workers without creating sufficient new opportunities, the risk of structural unemployment and widening inequality intensifies. We could see a bifurcation in the labor market, a highly skilled, highly compensated segment leveraging advanced technologies, and a lower-skilled segment facing precarious work. Macroeconomic models suggest that policies like universal basic income or robust retraining programs might become necessary to maintain social cohesion in such scenarios. The long-term trajectory hinges on whether technology becomes a tool for broad economic empowerment or primarily benefits a select few.
From a societal perspective, this rebalance could lead to a fundamental reevaluation of what constitutes valuable work. Perhaps the care economy, often underpaid and undervalued, will finally see its true economic and social worth recognized through increased wages and benefits. And there's growing momentum for initiatives like a 4-day work week or expanded access to affordable childcare, recognizing that worker well-being is not a luxury, but a productivity driver. Workers are increasingly demanding not just higher pay, but also autonomy, purpose, and respect in their workplaces. This could lead to a future where job satisfaction and work-life balance become as important, if not more important, than traditional career advancement metrics. Ultimately, the shift means a renewed focus on human capital as a core economic engine, requiring investment in education, health, and social support.
Policymakers globally are beginning to grapple with the implications, exploring new regulatory frameworks for the future of work. Discussions around portable benefits for gig workers, enhanced collective bargaining rights, and even new forms of wealth distribution are gaining traction. For example, several European countries are experimenting with legislation to give workers a right to disconnect outside of working hours, acknowledging the blurring lines of remote work. Corporations that proactively adapt to this new paradigm, investing in their workforce and embracing flexible models, will likely gain a significant competitive advantage. The winners will be those companies and nations that view this rebalance not as a threat, but as an opportunity to build more resilient, equitable, and productive economies. This means a paradigm shift in how capital markets value human potential and integrate social impact into investment decisions.
The Great Labor Rebalance is more than just a passing trend. It is a profound transformation, challenging the very foundations of our economic order. It compels us to ask difficult questions about value, equity, and the true meaning of prosperity in the 21st century. The answers we forge today will shape the future of work for generations to come. Thank you for joining us on the Great Labor Rebalance.